and YouTube Live, and of course on our own channels, the Cave Talk Radio app, and of course cavetalkradio.com. Great to have you aboard, Gary Ayd, Rich Anselmo, and it is a Thursday night football picks, NBA on Christmas Day, and a whole ton of NBA tonight. So a lot of NBA, a lot of NFL, and a little bit of a little top five for you. So that's what we got in store for you today. Okay, so let's just start with this, Rich. Zach Wilson sucks. Like, yeah, newsflash. Oh my God, the guy is horrible. I mean, he is rapidly approaching the Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, Achilles Smith level of suckiness. I mean, this guy is horrendous. He is in the penthouse of terrible top draft picks for quarterbacks. I mean, that could almost be a top five because he's in it. He's close. I mean, this guy is awful. He looks terrible. He looks scared. He looks completely unsure of himself. He has no idea what he's doing. He was benched for a guy who was probably selling hot dogs more recently, a fourth string guy from the CFL. And you know, the best part about that was I was watching this game on social. I wasn't watching the game. I was kind of watching live reactions to it, like local Jet fans I know. One guy's an attorney. He listens to the show sometimes. And he was like campaigning for whoever this guy was. I can't even pronounce his name, Steveler or something. He was campaigning for him like a quarter and a half before he came into the game. They were Jet fans clamoring for a fourth stringer, a practice squad guy from the CFL over their starting quarterback that they drafted third overall just 2 years ago. That is horrible. Second overall, right.
That was a battle between pick number 1 and 2.
Right, second overall, right.
And while number 1 didn't have his best game ever.
No, but he looks like an NFL quarterback.
But there was no comparison between the two.
Yeah. And to be fair,
Wilson's a tire fire.
Oh, he's a disaster. And to be fair, if the Jets had the number 1 pick, they would have taken Trevor Lawrence too.
Yes.
He was a consensus universal number 1. Everyone knew that. But
and
my
out of all
God,
the quarterbacks in that draft, including Lance and Jones, who's a story in himself, Lawrence was the one. And we discussed that before the draft.
Yeah.
I thought he was the only one we were comfortable with.
The only one. I mean, if I had anything, if I needed a quarterback and I had anything but the number 1 pick in that draft, I would have drafted for the next position on my needs list. Because like these rest of these guys, none of them, like Lance and Wilson in particular, those two really didn't excite me.
They went 2 and 3.
Yes, and oh boy, isn't that going great? Now, it looks like the Niners are sort of the new age Patriots where their system is such and their talent elsewhere is such and their coaching is such that most quarterbacks you can plug in and they can have some relative success. I use the term.
They plugged in a late round pick, just like New England did.
Right. And I say most because getting back to our guest of honor today, Zach Wilson is outside of the most umbrella. I don't think you could put him on the 85 Bears and have him be successful. This guy is awful. Absolutely dog poop. Guys, just brutal to watch. And I feel for Jet fans. I really do. You know, the one thing I hope doesn't happen, because he was a Joe Douglas pick. Darnold wasn't. Darnold was, I think, the last pick of the prior regime. I think. I'd have to double check that, but I think so. But
Darnold looks pretty good right now compared
by
to
comparison,
Wilson.
Right? But what I was going to say is I hope that this doesn't become a situation where they color Douglas's entire tenure by this dumpster fire, because really, when you look around everything else he's done, he's really put this team on a much more solid footing and on a clear path to relevancy. I mean, they are moderately relevant this year. They've kind of fallen off a cliff the last few weeks, but I mean, they've had a moderate relevant season this year. But my God, Zach Wilson is awful. And I would cut him. I would straight eat it because it's going to be a distraction until then, and you're going to be wasting money paying him anyway. So you may as well waste the money since you're going to do it anyway and just get rid of the distraction. I would cut him. I honestly
you can't
would.
trade him.
Oh, he has no value. What are you going to trade him
one's
for?
going to give you anything.
They're going to give you a used headset that Tom Brady slammed on the floor in frustration because his team stinks. That's all you can get for Zach Wilson right now is a broken headset. I mean, no, I would cut him. I honestly would. Just say, this was a failure, an unmitigated disaster. We're moving on.
With the team, with this team having that kind of defense, you don't need
much.
A quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards.
No, you barely need to throw for 3.
You just need someone not to mess up.
Right. Ryan Tannehill would be perfect on this team.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins would be above and beyond. Yeah, exactly. You're right. And they're going to add additional skill position guys. I'm sure they'll add new receivers. They'll probably add another running back or two in the draft and free agency this year. And that defense is a nice, solid.
Not even counting the one they have coming back.
Right. Yeah, of course. But it's just, you need just competency at that position. And Zach Wilson is so far from competent, it's not even funny. I mean, it's hard and painful to watch.
And I will normally not dump on a second-year quarterback, but this is just
it's horrible.
He's just not good.
Oh, he sucks. I mean, there's just nothing to say.
I mean, there is nothing redeeming about his game.
He's awful.
Normally, you'll see a second-year quarterback, and you go, give it a little time. There ain't enough time in the world for this guy.
No, he's outright awful. And our resident Jet fan, our loyal listener Scott, chimes in chat. He says, give the water boy or the dog from Air Bud, anyone but Wilson.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, where's Paul Crew when you need him? Adam Sandler, you're in the house.
Reference. I love it.
Oh my goodness, what a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Hell, we can even get who's the old man from that movie?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Is he still alive?
Does it matter? Even a dead guy might be better. He at least will throw the ball away.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. What a mess.
God, you're putting a Weekend at Bernie's scenario together for Jets quarterback. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. What a way to go into the weekend. He's going Rick Vaughn now from Major League.
Well, at least he can throw. I mean,
oh, this is so bad.
Can't say where he can throw, but he can throw.
He'll go somewhere. We just don't know where. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. All right, so sorry, Scott. Didn't mean to come out and bury your Jets today, but what choice did I have? I mean, that was an abomination last night.
Now the takes on the head coach are starting to come out, and I have an issue with that.
I do too.
Yeah.
I put this on the quarterback. This whole thing is the quarterback's problem. They have deficiencies in this roster that they need to address with upgraded talent. There's no question about that. But I believe Joe Douglas will and can. He missed on this quarterback. It's as simple as that. But great GMs miss on people all the time. Remember, it was a discussion for maybe
especially quarterbacks.
Well, right, exactly. They miss on quarterbacks all the time, even great GMs. I mean, there was a discussion with maybe the greatest front office guy in NFL history, Bill Polian, on Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf. They had to make a choice. I mean, thank God they chose right, but that's what this comes down to sometimes, man. But no, I agree with you. The coach, there's two problems here. It's the quarterback, and then to a lesser extent, they need to upgrade their roster, particularly in the skill position department. But they have a great defense. They have the best defensive back to come in the NFL, I think, in 15 years, 20 years. And that's something to build from. This is not the time to fire and change a coach.
No.
It's not.
But of course, people are calling for him on socials as if he can throw the ball and, get out there and be the quarterback. Now, I don't like the play calling, no matter who's quarterback, but I have issues with that, but they're more situational.
Right. And you could always play Monday morning quarterback and play caller and whatever, and that's easy to do.
And I have issues with almost every play caller then.
Right. Well, I mean, but that's not. I mean, this is not a coaching issue. This is a quarterback issue and a talent issue. See, the problem is where I think Wilson doesn't have the benefit of, say, a Brock Purdy, for example, is there is no 1A on offense to just like lean on. Like even like someone like Ryan Tannehill. And I'm not saying Wilson is anywhere near as good as these guys because he's not, but like it makes it look better for all of them when you could just give the ball to Derrick Henry 35 times a game.
Right.
You know, when you could just
and
turn around to Christian McCaffrey or Deebo Samuel. The Jets don't have anyone like that.
Oh, they would have had he stayed healthy. I think Breece Hall is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
He is no ordinary player.
I agree with that.
But I also, did he really have a veteran quarterback he could lean on? And I don't count Joe Flacco in that conversation.
Oh, he's veteran.
Yeah, but
he's extra veteran.
I don't count him in that conversation. There's a reason Matt Barkley's been on Buffalo's roster for 5 6 years. It's a sounding board. It's someone there.
Right.
It's someone who's been through a little of it and someone they can talk to. I don't think Wilson had that.
Yeah, probably not. I don't discount.
How much would it have helped? I don't know. Probably not. Nowhere near enough.
Not enough.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't discount Flacco's presence in that respect as completely as you seem to be. But I mean,
he has no interest in being that.
Zach Wilson just isn't good enough. I mean, really, when it boils down to it,
right?
It's just that simple. And to Scott's point in the chat, he says you can see the difference between Wilson and the guy that came in. He said that's even a big difference. Like, and it is like at least the guy that came in, and I can't even remember his name. That's how anonymous he is. He at least looked like he competed. Like he looked like he tried. Like Streveler. There we go. At least he looked like he was out there and he wasn't afraid to like try stuff and see what happened.
Yeah.
You know, Wilson looks terrified. He looks terrified every play.
He does. He has zero pocket sense.
Nothing.
He has none of the attributes quarterbacks need. I don't care what your arm is.
Right.
If you don't have any of those attributes, it's
it. Yep.
It's so difficult to do, which is why people that pick quarterbacks fail 50% of the time.
Yep. It's true. It's true.
Because it's a hard position to draft for.
Well, and this is why I've always believed you should build a team and then try to find a quarterback versus find a quarterback and then try to build a team. I really believe your berth becomes so much wider. Your margin for error and the quality of quarterback you need becomes so much greater, so much broader. You have so much more room for just average or below average, even if you build a team that's really good. The Niners are a perfect example. That team is loaded. Their quarterbacks are, Garoppolo, I think, is better than people give him credit for, but he's still middle to lower third of the pack of starters.
I do too. He's an average starting quarterback.
He's an average starting quarterback. But when you have a team like that, that's all you need. You don't have to hit a home run. You don't need Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes if you build a real team.
Don't screw up.
And it's easier to do because all the other positions are radically easier to evaluate and have a much lower fail rate than quarterbacks do. I mean, generally speaking, take like an offensive lineman, like a tackle, for example. If you're considering a tackle in the top 5 picks, the chances of that person being anything worse than like a slightly above average starter are pretty low. Like that's like the floor in most cases with that position.
Right.
If you're looking at him that high in the draft. You very rarely get like a Jamarcus Russell style bust at left tackle or wide receiver or running back or really any of the other positions. If you're looking
the only
at
other
that
position I've ever seen it happen in more than a couple of times was defensive line.
Yes. Yeah. Pass rushers. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
you're right.
And I think people usually reach for them anyway.
They do. But if you're drafting a defensive back, if you're drafting a running back, a wide receiver, an offensive tackle, generally those people are close to their evaluation scores or exceed them or slightly underachieve, but aren't just bombing. Quarterbacks bomb. So I wouldn't, that would be my philosophy. I would never draft quarterbacks high unless I had the number one pick in like an Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence type of year, which happens once every 15 years, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
At the most. So anyway.
I mean, look how long it's taking Trevor Lawrence. He just started to get into that group.
Exactly. Yep. And
last night was not his best night.
And Andrew Luck retired after 7 years. Yeah. It's hard. So even those two examples, I mean, it's tough. Really tough. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do our NFL picks. Then what we have on tap the rest of the way, we'll look at the NBA Christmas games, and we'll finish up with some news you can use and a little hockey as well. So that's what's on tap the rest of the way. We might get to a top 5. We'll see. It's the Gary Ayd Show here in the cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent, pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need? It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
All right, let's get to our NFL picks, Rich. What do we got this week?
Okay, let's start with the bulk of the schedule, which is on Saturday. The 1:00 games on Saturday. Let's start with Falcons at Ravens.
Gotta go.
No Lamar Jackson.
Ooh. Ugh.
No Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. The Falcons are a weird team this year.
They are.
I can never put my finger on them the whole season. It's still hard to bet against the Ravens in this spot, even though they're brutal at finishing games. They cannot close games out at all. But I just can't pick them against I can't pick against them against the Falcons. I just can't do it.
Yeah, same here. Their defense got it done. I mean, did Cleveland last week even have an offensive touchdown in that 13-3 game?
I don't think so.
Ravens defense did their job. Lions at Panthers.
You know,
just when I start to believe the Lions, they go on the road.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go with the Lions here. I don't love I don't love picking the Lions ever. But they have
They're
been
7-7.
Yeah,
it's
they've
not
been
like they're a bottom feeder.
No,
right
they're
now.
not. They have been playing okay, and the Panthers are terrible. I have to go with the Lions here.
As did I.
Breaking my own rule.
Bills at Bears.
See, this game is actually, I think, going to be kind of fun because both teams are cold weather teams, and it's going to be cold this weekend.
Yeah, we're looking at -11 at game time.
Sweet.
Minus anything is just not right. When I see a minus temperature,
like owed something.
And yeah, I feel like, you owe me some degrees here. This is wrong. A friend of mine in Cleveland sent something out, and it was his forecast, and he said, blank this weather, and it was -4.
That is so funny.
But half the country's getting this.
Yeah, you gotta go with the Bills, of course. I mean,
I took the Bills
Yeah.
just on talent, but don't be surprised if this game in these conditions is closer.
I believe it.
People think, oh, geez, another one for the family to miss. Saints at Browns.
Saints are another team I've had a hard time putting my finger on this year. But I got to go with them again in this one. They are actually underdogs too, which makes this an attractive bet for me. They're plus 130 on the money line.
Well, it's at Cleveland, and you know what kind of weather they're going to have.
Yeah. I know that gives me pause, but Cleveland's one of those teams I have infinite confidence in their ability to screw things up. So we go with New Orleans.
Okay.
More specifically, I'm going against Cleveland.
Okay. That's the way I looked at it. Seahags at Chiefs.
Seattle really fell apart after a pretty good start to the year.
I think that Carolina game did them in.
I agree.
If they win that, they're in a prime spot for a playoff position.
No way that they're beating the Chiefs here.
No, not at all.
Like, let's just be real about it. Not happening.
Giants at the Vikings.
The Vikings.
The great pretenders, as I call them.
I got to go with the Vikings here. I have a little more confidence in them than you do. That offense features 3 weapons that are all dynamic with Thielen, of course, Justin Jefferson, and Cook. All 3 of them are really scary. Kirk Cousins does a good job with that team. I like the Vikings, and I don't really think it's particularly close. I think this is a 4-point spread. If I was going to bet this game, I would bet the Vikings to cover that. I would lay the points. I think the Vikings are going to win this game by double digits.
As much as I don't believe in the Vikings, at least against anyone good, I don't think the Giants can score with them on their best day.
No, that's the whole problem. Even if the Giants score 24, they might lose by 8, So
my lock of the week, Bengals at Patriots.
Yeah, it's hard to expect the Patriots to be involved in this game, isn't it?
I don't care if the Bengals are on the road.
Yeah.
The Patriots can't score, and everyone is piling on Mac Jones. And I get why. But you have a defensive coordinator calling offensive plays. And when does someone hold Belichick's feet to the fire for that brilliant move?
Well, Belichick has achieved that level of unassailableness. Certain guys reach it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Good. I hope he continues that.
Bengals win. Easily.
Texans at Titans.
Yuck.
Texans gave the Chiefs a run for their money last week. That was a really good game.
It was.
And they played an outstanding game. Matt Tannehill's out for the year. And the Titans have lost 4 in a row. Does any of that matter?
Well, it definitely matters when you lose your starting quarterback.
Even though your backup can hand off just as well.
Well, that's the whole thing, is this team is built around Derrick Henry, right? Which is why I'm still inclined to take the Titans, even given those facts. They've been losing. They're out their quarterback. The Texans just played maybe their best game of the year in a loss to a great team. All that said, I'm still taking Tennessee.
I did too. My second easiest game of the week to pick, Washington at the 49ers.
I love some commies in the morning.
I don't think they can score enough either.
No way. I mean, what's interesting though is Vegas doesn't seem to think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game, period. They have the over-under at just 37.5.
I'm looking at 20-13.
Yeah, I mean, it might be.
Did you take the under yesterday, by the way, with a final of 22 total points?
I did.
Good. I was hoping you did because I thought that was the best lock of the day.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Yeah, I definitely did. I'm going to go with the Niners here. Obviously, the question is, do they cover, which is a 6.5 point spread? Do they hit the over? I'm going to say they both cover and they go slightly over. I'm thinking the Niners find a way to score about 27, 25 in this game. And I think Washington scores about 15 or 14, something like that. So I think it's just over. I think we're at 38, 39 points in this one. So I'm going to go a parlay.
20-13. So I had 33.
All right. So
but I could also see a defensive touchdown for the Niners.
Yeah. I think the Niners will find a way to score a couple of points. So I'm going to say it's like 39 total points. So I'm doing a 2-pronged parlay on this one. I got the Niners covering the 6.5 plus the over.
Okay, nice. The second 4:00 game on Saturday, Eagles at Cowboys.
This is interesting. These are two really good teams.
No Jalen Hurts.
That's a big one. And for that reason, Philly is actually an underdog in this one.
And I picked Dallas.
And I'm picking Dallas too. I agree with Vegas. I think that makes a big difference. And I actually don't know that I wouldn't have picked Dallas at home even with Hurts, to be honest with you.
I might not have.
Well, I might not have, but I think it would have been a very tempting money line bet. If Hurts was playing, I bet you Dallas would be a slight underdog. And I think this is a pick'em game either way. But without Hurts, I'm going with Dallas. I think the Cowboys win.
And the Sunday night game, Raiders at Steelers.
Ooh, boy. Raiders have been playing a little better of late. Steelers are always sneaky. I have a feeling there's going to be an emotional charge to this one. It's in Pittsburgh, of course, on the heels of their legend Franco Harris dying a couple days ago.
Retiring his jersey way too late.
Yeah, way too late. I suspect there's going to be some extra emotion in this one on the side of the Steelers, and I think that gives them enough to carry the day. I think the Steelers will win in a close one.
And even if they don't play great, I think the Raiders will make the difference up there. They have a habit of playing down.
Yes.
Okay. That's the Saturday night game. The early Sunday game. There are 3 games Sunday. So in case you're inclined not to watch Christmas Story all day, the 1:00 game, Packers at Dolphins.
This game would be interesting to me if the Packers were relevant. Because the thing about the Dolphins is they've really kind of fallen on hard times recently. So this game would have been much more interesting to me about 4 weeks ago.
Yes.
I got to go with the Dolphins on talent alone. It's a situation where I think the Dolphins could have a bad day and score 24. I think the Packers would struggle to get to 20 on a good day right now. So I got the Dolphins winning this one.
I said the same. Oh, geez, the 4:30 game. 4:30 on Christmas Day. And this is still going to draw 1 billion viewers.
Yes.
Despite the fact there's great NBA game. I mean, you'll be on the tail end of Lakers Mavs and miss the start of Bucks Celtics if you watch this dog. Broncos at Rams.
Oh, baby. Yeah, and you're right. this will still
That's the stale fruitcake of the NFL match.
and this will still draw like a lot of people. It's
That's
insanity.
the sad part.
It's insanity. I can't even muster a guess at this one. I'm gonna go with the Broncos because why not? Rams are just checked out.
That's who I had. I don't think there's Matt Stafford, so
No, he's out for the year, and the team's mentally checked out. Broncos.
okay, the late Sunday game.
It's got to be better.
Oh man,
than that
I could be watching Grizzlies Warriors. Not the matchup it could have been, but Memphis is exciting.
Yep.
Buccaneers at Cardinals.
See
It's
this
football, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this game's a little interesting to me because to your point, that Memphis Golden State game doesn't really too much appeal to me. I watch Memphis a lot to begin with. I can't stand watching Golden State, so I might actually have this one on for a little while.
Yeah, but you're going to have a lot of Warriors haters watching because they want to see this.
Oh, I know. I'm just not going to be one of them. This is probably prime time for me to flip between a Christmas movie and this game. This game actually interests me. The Bucks have had an interesting year. They've been up and down, but they're on any given Sunday capable of putting on a performance. And the Cardinals are sort of in the same boat, although not as good. I'm going to go with the Bucks in this one, and I probably will tune this game on for a little while.
I am also going with them. I know there's no Murray this week, which might not be the worst thing, but I'm going with them, but I will not turn this on for a second.
Okay.
I would rather see Grizzlies Warriors just because I love watching the Grizzlies play, and I don't want to miss any of the 10:30 game, which is Suns at Nuggets. One more Monday night game, Chargers at Colts. Another one not difficult for me to pick.
Yeah, well, the Chargers. I mean, the Colts.
One team's fighting for their lives. Yeah.
The other team is already dead. Yeah, the Chargers are better. But that's a game I'll also watch because I love watching Herbert play. He's just worth it all by himself.
And like I said, I'm watching NBA from noon till 1 a.m.
Well, you said this is Monday night, this one.
Oh, that one's Monday night.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This one I'll definitely be tuning on.
There will be some NBA, no NHL.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that's going to be.
All right. Well, there you have it. There's our NFL picks. So let's take something. Let's take a break and we'll come back. We got to break down the NBA, specifically these Christmas games. And then we have a little news you can use and some NHL stuff to kind of wrap up the show. So back after this, NFL picks are in the books. NBA breakdown is next here on the Gary Ayd Show on The Cave.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. That's 800-370-2460.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you with the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do. And you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. That's 800-649-8617.
All righty, let's run down these NBA games.
Okay, Christmas Day. Get up in the morning.
It's my favorite sports day of the year.
Presents.
Oh, it's the best.
Breakfast, all that family junk you have to do.
Absolutely.
Watch a bit of Christmas Story because it's going to be on for 24 hours.
That's right.
11:59 a.m. Kiss your family goodbye because the action starts.
Yes.
Sixers at Knicks.
This might be one of the best games on the docket as it worked out. When we previewed it in the beginning of the year, it was on the lower end of the spectrum, which is why it's the early game. But given how some things have played out, Dallas is underachieved. Golden State is decimated by injuries and is underachieved. This is actually a really exciting game, really relevant game. I can't wait for this.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. The Knicks are playing great. The Sixers are playing awesome. And and these two teams, the one thing I like about this matchup too, they're stylistically very similar. So it's really strength versus strength. Now, certainly there's differences, of course. Embiid is eons better than anything the Knicks have up front, but the backcourt that the Knicks can throw out there is so much faster and more athletic than what the Sixers go with. And then to me, the X factor in this one is Julius Randle. He's gonna get some time on Embiid. He won't be the main guy, but he'll be on him on switches. If Robinson gets in foul trouble, can Randle make Embiid work on the other end and maybe get him a couple of cheap fouls, wear him out a little bit?
I don't think Embiid touches Randle on the other end. I think Embiid guards a combination of Robinson and Hartenstein. And
I think the Knicks, if they're smart with their offense and their pick plays, are going to try to create that mismatch, is what I'm saying.
They have to.
And can Randle exploit that? And
yes.
To me, that's going to be the big thing I'm watching in this game is, are the Knicks able to create those cross matchups? And is Randle able to win enough of them to make it worth their while? To me, that's going to be what it comes down to, because the backcourt, Harden's going to get his production, but the Knicks backcourt's going to compete and probably win the overall scoring matchup because they're better. Embiid's going to kill the Knicks on defense. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
No, there's nothing. But he kills everyone, and they don't win all the time.
Well, that's right. So
there are other reasons for it, both on the court and on the bench. And I think it's going to be a really interesting game. And I think there are some things the Knicks can do to mess with them. Normally, you catch the first hour of the Knicks games and you look for something else. I'm not turning away from this to go to Packers and Dolphins.
I agree.
The second game, Lakers at Mavericks. This is cool in theory.
In theory, yeah.
But
not in practice, really.
You know something? And people are saying, well, it's not must-see anymore. Yes, it is.
It's still LeBron and Luka.
It's right. You can watch this one. This is appointment viewing.
Right.
I'm not going to leave this at halftime to go to Broncos Rams. That's for sure.
You're not.
I won't even think about that. 5 o'clock, game 3. Bucks at Celtics. Oh, yes.
Yeah, bingo.
Give me
game of the
all
night.
Of this.
Game of the night. No question. I'm watching this cover to cover.
If you're going to not miss any game to duck back to A Christmas Story,
this is the one.
This is not the one to do it on.
This is the game you want to be locked in for. Have already made your food, done your beer run, whatever you need to do. Be in the recliner for this one. Don't watch the halftime show just so you don't miss the start of the second half. This is a cover to cover type of appointment viewing for me. I mean,
best game of the day in any sport.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're even a casual basketball fan, this is like perfection. I mean, you have the best player in the world going against a team that is just absolutely loaded. I mean, what could you want? This, like, roll out the ball and let's play. I just wish Middleton was healthy.
I do too.
But let's play ball. Yeah, both of those games are interesting because look, if I could have LeBron James and Luka Doncic on the court together at the same time, I'm interested. I don't even care what the teams look like. Like those two guys are both on their own must-watch television. You get them together,
Absolutely.
it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. I will not leave for that other cluster of a game.
All right, what else we got? So that's four
game
games.
4, the 8 p.m. game, Grizzlies at Warriors. Not quite the matchup.
Yeah, this is the
could have
one.
been.
I'll take a little break from basketball, maybe eat some leftovers, check some Christmas movie, might even play a little video games or something. Like this is one I probably won't watch a ton of, to be honest with you.
If you don't watch a lot of Memphis play, it's worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, I watched them
because they are
a lot.
one of the most exciting teams to watch.
They're awesome, yes.
And for most of that game, what's your other option? Bucks and Cardinals? Yeah, I think not.
Yeah, I'll probably check that out a little bit just in the beginning because the thing about the Bucks this year is their starts tend to indicate their finishes. So if they're playing well at the beginning, I might watch that a little bit, but I'm probably going to be in Christmas mode during this game, to be honest with you. This one doesn't really appeal to me that much.
10:30. Suns at Nuggets.
This is good. I wish I could be
good.
up this. I wish they would flex this and move this up a slot. But yeah, this is good. If I could be awake.
There's still wrapping paper laying around the floor. You haven't seen the cats in hours because they found empty boxes.
Yeah, or bows. We had a cat. True story. When we were growing up, we had a cat named Cooper, and it was the sweetest, friendliest cat you could ever meet. I mean, he literally would let like a random stranger off the street, pick him up, carrying him from wherever he was to somewhere else, put him down in the same position, and he would stay there. Like he was he was totally amazing. One quirk he had, it was so funny. And then this is from the very time we had him from 4 days old. My mom was a foster for the Humane Society at the time, and she was taking in kittens that were abandoned by their mother, tube feeding them, nursing them to health, and adopting them out. Well, Cooper was the exception. He ended up becoming our cat. But he had this thing where he would take Christmas bows off of packages. We didn't have Christmas bows for 15 years because he would remove them. He didn't want to play with them. He didn't want to do anything with them. And if you just left a bow on the table, he wouldn't touch it. But if you put it on the box, he would remove it and then just leave it there. He did this his whole life.
Obstacle in the way of his box.
But he didn't want the box. He just didn't like the bow on the box. He would just take it off and leave it. He would walk away. He didn't care about the box, didn't care about the bow anymore. He just couldn't have the bow on the box. It's like, yes, good times.
But I'm looking forward to this game.
Yes.
Take the NBA on past midnight.
Yeah,
end this sports day the right way. Catatonic and bathed in your television's warming glow.
That's it. If I could stay awake for this one, I will. This is a great game.
I will be awake for this one.
Yes. What a great slate.
That is a guarantee.
What a great slate. I mean, it's just a shame the injuries with the Warriors, but like these other games are great.
Such an excellent sport day. Such an excellent day.
The Lakers and Mavericks, I could understand an argument for saying that's not a great matchup because both teams are kind of blah. But you give me
with me,
give me Luka and LeBron. It
doesn't matter. It's LeBron and Luka.
Yeah, that's all I need. I'm good. Just those two are worth watching just all by themselves.
And my option is
Christmas movies.
Broncos and Rams.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, give me LeBron.
Yeah.
Give me LeBron and Luka.
Yes.
And I'm good.
Absolutely. All right. Well, there we have it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll wrap things up with some hockey and news you can use. Get you set for Christmas week. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. We'll be right back. Gary Ayd Show here in the cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent, pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need? It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
All right, we're back. Last couple of minutes of the show. Let's wrap it up with some NHL and some news you can use. What have we got in hockey, Rich?
This was an easy one last night. The two NBA games were rubbish. And I had no way of watching the football game had I wanted to. We had one game involving locals, and the Islanders took the long road trip to the Garden to play the Rangers. Rangers scored late in the third period for a 4-3 lead, added an empty net goal, beat the Islanders 5-3. Both teams needed the game. Only one team got it. And I didn't watch the later NBA game either because it was that Utah debacle. And I caught a nice game with LA beating Calgary in overtime, so that was fun. We did have a record set last night. Alex Ovechkin, yeah, he shattered the NHL's all-time shots on goal record. Wow. He finished the game with with the lead. He has 6,211 career shots on goal. Man's not afraid to shoot.
No, he's not.
He passed Ray Bork, who had like 6,209 in his 1,612 game career. Ovechkin did this in only just over 1,300 games.
That's insane.
So I think it's just a matter of time that he breaks the goals record. But remember, Gretzky has that record without taking anywhere near that many shots. Interesting stuff.
It is interesting.
We had a second cancellation last night. The Detroit and Ottawa games canceled for Saturday because, well, the Red Wings just can't get there.
Well, that makes sense.
They rescheduled it to where they're going to be playing them at the end of February, a back-to-back, 2 games in 2 nights. It was the most convenient place they could do it on the schedule. And between that and the Buffalo-Tampa Bay game tonight, and I can imagine Tampa Bay trying to get out of here.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's flying in that wind. I don't care how much snow it is. The winds are supposed to hit near 70 miles an hour tonight. And I was out in it briefly this morning, and check, please. I'm done. I'm in the house the next few days, and I'm fine with it.
There you go.
And let's see, news you can use. Ryan Fitzpatrick says that Zach Wilson's career in New York is over and wondering if he'll even have a career anywhere else.
I mean, he's not wrong. There's nothing, like you were saying earlier, Rich, there's nothing redeeming about him right now. Like,
yeah,
you could be the most eternal optimist you could say even arrogant as a coach and think I can fix this or that. Like, in order for something to be fixed, there has to be something there to fix. Like, there's nothing. This is zero.
Has to be something worth fixable.
Yep.
Fitzpatrick made an interesting point. He said he's starting to say the right things, but people aren't believing him. He said the guys in the huddle can see the authenticity, and they can see that he doesn't give a damn about playing football.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's that evident to people just watching, I can only imagine how the players feel. If you're out there, no matter what else is going on in your life, that better be the most important thing in your life for those 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. While you're out there, it has to be the only thing you're thinking about.
And he lost the locker room with the first comment he made. Even though he's come back and trying to do the right things, they don't believe in him.
Right.
And what's he done for them to believe in him?
Well, his play isn't good enough to make them think, okay, let's give this guy a second chance.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
Nope. All right. We got one more.
Okay, we got one more. A name that'd be quite familiar to you. The San Francisco Giants signed Michael Conforto.
Good. Take him.
A 2-year, $36 million deal. It's a player option after the first year. Do you think he's really not going to take that option?
Well,
like
I think
someone else is sitting out there giving him more.
Yeah, well, I think if he kills it in this first year, he'll probably test free agency again. But yeah, I mean, they can have him. Look, this is a guy that frustrated the hell out of me for a lot of years because
I know he did.
He's one of those guys. He's kind of like the baseball version of Lamar Odom. You watch him play, and there's times you just think, man, this guy's such a natural. And there's other times you're like, is that the same person? Like, it just drives you crazy. And that's what he is. I mean, it's not like he's a young guy anymore. Like, that's who he is. I just, they can have him. Someone else's headache.
And one more quick one. The Giants signed someone else. They signed Taylor Rogers. He's the guy who went from San Diego to Milwaukee in the Josh Hader deal.
Taylor Rogers, huh?
And he's going to join his brother Tyler there, who already pitches for the Giants.
Must be a San Francisco thing. It's a
no splash.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a beauty. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
No great splash there. So they're just grasping at straws.
Yeah, they struck out. Yep. There we go. All right. Well, have a happy and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you very much for spending
and all that
part of your year with us.
Absolutely.
And we aren't stopping now.
No, we're just getting rolling. We'll be back Monday. Tuesday, we will probably not have a show next week. And then back to regular programming after that. So Monday, we'll see you then. Enjoy the holiday weekend. We'll see you Monday. And then we'll be back in Better Than Ever Wednesday going forward. Enjoy NBA basketball. If you're a psycho and watch some NFL football, enjoy it too. But I'm watching basketball, Christmas movies, and I'm drinking beer and maybe some Yukon Jack while I'm at it too. So
I'm envious. I am envious.
So we'll see you then. Enjoy the holiday, and we'll see you on Monday. It's the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.